In this video, we're gonna cover 5 reasons you may have lost money recently while dropshipping. Make sure to stick around for number 3 because very few people know about it. Hey, I'm Paul, and I'm committed to teaching you the exact strategies I use to create multiple 6-figure businesses on eBay and Amazon. These are the same methods that changed my life, and I'm here to show you how they can change yours as well. So let's say you recently sold an item on eBay or Amazon that you are dropshipping. You fulfilled the order, everything looks great, but when you crunch the numbers and you take into account your eBay fees, your Amazon fees, sales tax, and everything else, and all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, I lost money on this purchase. Why is that? Well, these are 5 reasons you may have lost money on this purchase. The first reason is if you're not using a repricing tool. Now, there is software out there that will reprice your items on eBay or Amazon if the price changes on your supplier's website. So let's say you dropship the item from Walmart. Well, if the price on Walmart goes up, then the price will change accordingly on your website like eBay or Amazon. Now, some people say you don't have to use this software, and I get why some people might not want to use it, but you are putting yourself at a huge disadvantage here, because if you don't use that software, what ends up happening is things like this, where the price changes on Walmart and you don't catch it in time. You're not able to make that change on eBay or Amazon on time before someone buys it from you. And let's say it went up like 20 bucks on Walmart. Now someone's buying it for much cheaper from you, and you're gonna take a big loss if you fulfill that order on Walmart. And look, this software that you can use is really affordable. It's very easy to use once you set it up, and I don't see what the harm is in using this software in most cases. So if you wanna learn more about that software, I'll probably have a video linked up below showing you how I use this type of repricing software. But look, you gotta be using it because it really makes sure that if the price changes on your supplier's website, it's going to change on eBay or Amazon for you automatically. So that's number 1. Number 2 we have is, let's say the price changes on Walmart and then the repricer changes it. Well, these repricers only work about once an hour. So let's just say, to keep it simple, that it checked the prices at 12 and it saw that there were no price change. But then at 12:05, the price changed on Walmart. Let's say it went up 20 bucks. And now someone buys it from you on eBay before the repricer checks the price again at 1 o'clock. So in that situation, that's sometimes what happened. There's not much you can do about that. It's not going to happen very often, but it will happen sometimes. And the best thing that you can do is either fulfill the order and take the loss, or wait to see if the item goes back down in price, because a lot of times they will go back down to the original price later on. So those are the first 2. They deal with repricers. Let's go on to number 3, because it's one that I think a lot of people don't really know about. And before we move on to number 3, if you guys want to learn more about eBay or Amazon dropshipping, I have free courses about both of them linked up below. But the third one I have that happens sometimes is sometimes there are pricing errors on our supplier's website. So sometimes, let's say an item is on Walmart for $100, suddenly it will just go down to $1. And it's an error on their website. It's usually, it only lasts for a very short period of time, usually less than an hour. And during that hour, some people will buy it for $1 on Walmart. And if our repricer sees that it's $1, it will change the price on eBay or Amazon for us to mark it up from $1, which is obviously pretty bad for that to happen. Then people buy it from us for much cheaper on eBay. By the time we go and order the item from Walmart, the pricing error has been fixed, and now the price is back up to where it was before. Now, these pricing errors are pretty rare. There's actually websites out there devoted to alerting people about these pricing errors, because when they come up on websites like Amazon or Walmart, people like to rush in and buy the product for the really low, cheaper price. Sometimes the suppliers will honor that price, and other times they cancel the orders. It's kind of hit or miss with those. But that's why people are devoted to finding them and spreading the word about them so they can get kind of a quick, cheap deal on those. But for us dropshippers, it's not a good thing, because usually we're not placing orders every hour. we come in later in the day and place the orders. And if the price has gone back up after one of those pricing errors, that's sometimes what happens when we suddenly realize we lost money on the purchase. So that's number 3. Number 4 I have for you is if you set your margins incorrectly. So when you are listing your item and when you are setting up your repricing software, you got to make sure your margins are set correctly. So make sure you take into account the price of the item, whether that item has shipping or not. A lot of suppliers will have free shipping, but only under certain circumstances. So you want to make sure that you apply shipping where it's supposed to be applied. Make sure you compensate for the fees, whether that's eBay and PayPal fees or Amazon fees. All that has to be added in there as well. And make sure you're doing the math correctly. So for instance, Amazon charges a 15% fee every time they sell, or every time you sell an item on their platform. But you can't just take a $100 item that's on Walmart and mark it up to $115. That's not the way the math works out. You actually have to mark it up by about 17.77%. So you would mark it up to $117.78 basically. And the reason for that is because once you raise the price, then the percentage that they take is still 15%, and 15% of 115 is not $15, it's more than $15. So let's not get too complicated with the math right now. Just make sure you understand how the math works, because if you don't mark it up enough, that's another good reason why people lose money with dropshipping, because they don't understand how the margins work. And number 5 I have for you is if you waited too long to order the item. So let's say someone buys the item from you early in the day and you wait until the end of the day to purchase the item. Well, during the day, the price of the item on your supplier's website might have gone up. And I'm not talking about a pricing error here. I'm talking about it just naturally went back up. In that case, you waited too long to purchase the item. Now, in general, I think it's okay to only purchase items once a day. Once you start to get more sales, I encourage you to place orders at least twice a day. In the meantime, sometimes that's going to happen. So you just got to be aware of that and really evaluate. Do you want to take a loss on this so you can fill the order? Or do you want to try to wait to see if the price goes back down or see if it's cheaper on another website? All those options are available to you, but just be aware that if you wait too long, never wait more than a day. And especially once the orders pick up, you want to be placing orders at least twice a day. And I do have one bonus for you here. Those were the 5 that we covered, but I have one more as a bonus one. People also forget about sales tax. So whenever you purchase an item from your supplier's website, a lot of times you'll have to pay sales tax for that item. And sales tax always changes for every purchase, and it depends on where the item is being shipped to. It doesn't depend on where you live. It depends on where your buyer lives, where the item is being shipped to. So for instance, some states have no sales tax, and other states like California have really high sales tax, and some other states have really low sales tax. So you kind of have to find an average here. Let's say it's about 6 or 7%. And add that into your margins, which I talked about before, and make sure you calculate that as part of your margins when you mark up the item. But just know that if you put it at 7% and you ship the item to California, there's a chance you might just break even or lose money on that purchase, depending on what your margins are, because California has such high sales tax. So those are my 5 reasons why you might have lost money on a purchase when drop shipping onto eBay or Amazon. If you like the bonus one or any of these, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. And if I missed any, I know these aren't all of them. I know there are other reasons why you might have lost money with your drop shipping business. And if you have a suggestion for another one, leave it in the comment section underneath this video so we can all learn from each other different ways, different things to avoid so that we don't lose money when drop shipping. All right, thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.